Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Again, just saying at the start of the video, I'm recovering from eye surgery. I am not just trying to be a diva wearing sunglasses inside, even though I do that often, actually. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, we are going to be making a video today together that a lot of people have been tagging me in. It is a video that dropped last night from Paige Christie, and it is called Rosanna Pansino Has Disgusting Friends. Now, the reason that I can only assume that it has been sent to me so much is I got a message from Paige Christie yesterday, and she was like, wow, I'm like, can't see absolutely anything out of this eye. I have so much ointment in it. And wow, like completely can't see anything. So if I'm like looking at the screen really weird, there we go. There's no time for rest. We've got to crack on with videos. I enjoy making videos. So, but Paige had messaged me last night and was like, hey, just to let you know, like I talk about you in my new video, just in case like people let you know, just, I don't want it to shock you or whatever. So I need to watch the video. My mom has watched the video and she said that I do get brought up around the middle to end part, which I can see right here. There is clips of me and Rosanna. Being 100% transparent with you, I have not watched this. If anything, I spent my entire day today watching the Mr. Beast interview that took almost 3 hours of my time. So we're going to watch this. We're going to watch this together and go through it. And that's going to be that. Oh, by the way, if you get tickets to my London or Dublin show, I am going to be giving you these, for whichever one, these signed little art cards for the London show or the Dublin show. Just tweet me or on any social media, DM me with confirmation that you're coming to the shows. We have added Dublin on the 10th of March at the O'Reilly Theatre, London on the March 9th, and then we have the other shows as well, Dallas, LA, Seattle, Chicago, Brooklyn. Wow, I really can't see anything out of my eye right now. Sorry, I'm being so delayed in my talking, but I'm here, don't worry. So yes, anyways, if you are in town on either of those shows, I would love to see you there. I can't believe I'm getting to do a homecoming show in Dublin. And again, if you have tickets already, let me know and I will send you one of the signed Dublin, me drinking a little Guinness. And then if you're coming to the London one, let me know and I will send you the London signed. Thank you so much to everyone who's bought their tickets already. I can't wait to meet all of the UK and Ireland muckers. All right, let's get to this video. Rosanna Pansino Has Disgusting Friends. All right. Shout out Paige Christie, by the way. Oh, she looks so cute.
Doing it, you good? Are you Gucci? Are you Gucci? Are you good? I'm getting in the Christmassy spirit, as you can see.
Oh my God, both of us are, babe. Both of us are. She looks beautiful.
So happy holidays to you and yours. Tonight's stream will be recorded once again. I'm trying out a little bit something different on this channel, so hopefully you guys are enjoying this new style of content. I want to bring it to you a little bit more frequently, and that gives me a little bit more time for me to focus on some of these bigger dives that take a long time to produce. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Okay, so I saw a comment whilst we were listening to the music from Tay Perks. They said, no offense, but I'm just wondering what correlation does Mr. Beast and Jason Derulo has? Don't you worry, sweetheart, all will be revealed.
Jason Derulo is in Jason Derulo. That one?
Today, I'm gonna be honest, I got a little bit peed off a little bit earlier today. I was actually really peed off. A story that I've been following to do with Jason Derulo has kind of had some new advancements, and I felt some kind of way about...
For context, I have no idea what's going on right now.
Honest, you know what? I'm trying to like be careful with my words, right? Because I feel like every single time, this is just me personally, I feel like every time I speak about something and I am passionate and very forthcoming with the way that I speak, I get this label as like aggressive, angry, constantly. So I try my best to be able to vocalize myself in a way that like is, I guess, palatable for everybody, so that I don't intentionally hurt people's feelings or
That makes me really sad.
Intentionally hurt people's feelings. And I'm just so over it. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm so over it. I need to be able to say what it is that I think and what it is that's going on in this crazy mind of mine without having this, you know, impeding doom that like, oh my gosh, you're gonna say the wrong thing. I just need to be able to just speak my mind. So this is what this is for. It's for me to be able to be flagrantly honest about how it is that I feel. Jason Derulo, if you don't know who Jason Derulo is, I'm going to give you a quick bio. Jason Derulo is, I guess you would consider him a content creator now, but he is a singer, he is a songwriter.
Oh my God, that's right. He like pivoted to like TikTok during the pandemic. I was seeing him do all those like You know what dance I'm talking about? Oh my god, that's right. I saw him every day on that app. God. Brutal. Brutal. Sorry, I just had to process that for a moment.
He was extremely big in like the early 2010s, I would say, and probably even a little bit earlier. Most popular for his extreme smash hit song, What You Say. And then after that, he had a spell of dating Jordan Sparks. I don't know whether you remember that. They had a bit of a messy breakup. Jordan Sparks was one of those, you know, purity ring kind of girlies. And then as soon as they broke up, Jason Derulo decided to tell the world, yeah, I smashed. And everybody kind of had like a weird vibe about Jason Derulo. I feel like collectively on social media, everybody...
I really hate that. And you know what that reminds me of? The way that Justin Timberlake would speak about Britney Spears and the media's obsession with her virginity for some reason as like an 18-year-old. And he went on like a radio station and was like, yeah, I smashed that, or whatever the fuck he said. And he was like loved in the media for doing that. That really pisses me off. Really pisses me off.
We enjoy the hits, but in terms of him as a person, I don't think he's ever really been able to make that connection with the audience. Hence why his career, for me, goes in waves. It goes like from extreme high points where he's having hit after hit after hit to extreme low points where we literally hear nothing from him. And I think what's happened more recently is he is trying his best to develop a new fan base, to develop a fan base of people who will enjoy him. So he has made the swift change to produce a hell of a lot of content on TikTok in order not only to promote his music, but also...
Oh, brutal. Okay, I'm probably going to be completely wrong here, but there's only one artist that comes to mind who successfully got the TikTok audience to be interested in their music. If we're thinking of the same person, write in the comments right now who you think I'm talking about. It's a woman, successfully got big on TikTok, thanks to the help of a little twink, and then used that for her music. Someone who's near and dear to the lore of Adam McIntyre. If you know a tweet or two from the Miranda Sings account of coming out as a Meghan Trainor fan. Now here's the thing. I liked Meghan Trainor's music before it started getting all TikTok-y again. You know, Meghan Trainor released, you know, I know I'm all about that bass, My name is no. You know, these very songs that would work on Musically, right? And then she went through this, like, kind of experimental phase with, I love this song called Waves. Just take me like a wave. Go listen to it. Meghan Trainor, Wave. One of my favorite songs of all time. And that album, I listen to it daily. Ashes. Have You Now. Nice to Meet You. Oh, perfect. And then she got big on TikTok. And then it was, I am your mother. You listen to me. And listen, I like a cheesy bop. So it still works on me, but she was really going a little bit experimental. And then the TikTok. But she really is I'm probably completely way off. There's probably definitely a lot more. I saw Nicki Minaj on TikTok live today selling nails or something like that. Crazy. But I think that Meghan Trainor is really one that sticks out in my mind who like became an influencer, but then it works to promote her music. Jason Derulo does not come to mind. If anything, I hit that not interested button. God, he used to fill up my feed in 2020. It would piss me off.
To promote him as a person that people can enjoy. Now, recently what's happened with Jason Derulo is he has been involved in sexual harassment allegations as well as sexual intimidation. And this is from a woman by the name of, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Emaza. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Emaza. She basically stated that...
Whoa, I did not know this.
For Jason Derulo underneath Atlantic Records, like he was helping her out. The moment she didn't accept his advances, that's when things kind of went south and he completely nuked her career. That's the way it comes across to me. Now this case got dismissed. I think it got dismissed in April of this year, but the reason it was dismissed was because of a jurisdictional issue, nothing to do with the actual case itself. So let's take a quick look, and as we go through this journey, you will understand how this all correlates to Mr. Beast in some capacity. So let's take a look at this article real quick. This article is is from BBC News, and it says Jason Derulo sued for sexual harassment by fellow singer. This was posted on the 6th of October 2023.
You can, sorry, this is so beyond the point. You can so tell, like, I really appreciate Paige being like a UK creator. I've never watched a commentary video where someone's like pulling up like BBC News. It's always like Rolling Stone or Business Insider. I really appreciate hearing, like, not that I like the BBC, but I'm just saying, feels like home. Feels like home. This Paige Christie video is a warm hug of home.
Derulo has been accused of sexual harassment in a legal case launched by the singer who was signed to his record label. Emaza Gibson, who was offered a recording contract with Derulo's imprint, is now suing him, alleging that he ended their working relationship after she denied his sexual advances. Miss Gibson told NBC News she had been left traumatized by the experience. Jason Derulo denied these claims, calling them completely false and hurtful. Miss Gibson, 25, filed her complaint against Derulo, 34, on Thursday in Los Angeles Superior Court, saying he maliciously promised her success and then denied her the opportunity. She alleges quid pro quo, sexual harassment, breach of contract, and intimidation and violence, among other complaints. This is what she said. She said, "I'm at this point right now, and it's very heartbreaking," she said in an interview with NBC on Wednesday. "I have anxiety, I'm traumatized, and I've dealt with inhumane work situations. I'm at a point where I'm back to zero and I have nothing." In the court documents, Miss Gibson says Derulo offered her a contract with his label Future History in August of 2022, and they began working together that November. However, she claims the singer repeatedly pressured her to socialize with him, and that there was explicit demand for sex in exchange for success. On one occasion, he allegedly told her that she would be required to partake in a sex ritual called goat skin and fish scales. Now, what I will say is, whether you believe in the ritualistic things that take place in Hollywood or not, this is neither here nor there. The part that I genuinely want to focus on is sexual harassment and sexual intimidation. So, whilst we're listening to this, if you don't believe in all of that shenanigans, just put it to the side, right? Which involves sacrificing a goat and taking cocaine. Miss Gibson also claims that she was plied with inappropriately large amounts of alcohol. Her lawyer, Ron Zambrano, said in a statement that Derulo's behavior towards the young artist was despicable. He not only broke promises and breached contracts, but his threats of physical harm and unconscious, girl.
You got it, babe. You got it, babe.
Bad sexual advances.
You know why I love you, Paige? Because I do the same thing. If I fuck up in a word, I either skip it or make up a different version of it, because people always clock that.
Woman who is trying to break into the industry was outrageous and illegal. The whole situation did not make its way into court at all because it ended up getting dismissed. Now, the case was dismissed in Los Angeles, but they basically said that it was a jurisdictional issue. So this is what a People article has to say about that. Jason Derulo's sexual harassment lawsuit dismissed on technicality, but will be refiled in New York. This was on the 18th of April this year. It says sexual harassment case filed against Jason Derulo has been dismissed on a technicality, but the case isn't over yet. People can
on a technicality, dude.
Artist Emaza Gibson filed in October 2023 against Derulo, alleging that he ended their working relationship after she had denied his sexual advances, was dismissed by Los Angeles court on Tuesday, April 16th, due to a technicality. According to Gibson's attorney, the California judge agreed on a change of venue, so the plaintiff and her legal team can refile in New York City. They said this case is still very much in play. Zambrano said in a statement to People, the judge did not rule on the merits of the plaintiff's claims, but merely changed the venue. He continued, the allegations against Derulo by Miss Gibson remain unchanged, and we remain committed to holding him accountable for his reprehensible and illegal conduct. The lawsuit will be refiled in New York, and we fully intend to win. So that is where we were left with the lawsuit. When, shortly after this whole situation...
Okay, so from what we're hearing, dismissed on a technicality, and unfortunately, unfortunately that happens, but they are refiling, like we've heard. Can't believe I haven't heard a single thing about this. I cannot believe I haven't heard a single thing about this. Which also just really pisses me off, like how much can be just in general suppressed.
Derulo decided to come to social media to basically address all of the allegations surrounding this suit. Let's take a quick look at that.
But these claims are completely false and hurtful. I stand against all forms of harassment, and I remain supportive of anybody following their dreams. I've always strived to live my life in a positively impactful way. And that's why I sit here before you deeply offended by these defamatory claims. God bless.
Okay, so this is
God bless.
the statement above. This was 59 weeks ago, so almost a year. It says, I wouldn't normally comment, but these claims are completely false and hurtful. I stand against all forms of harassment.
How many weeks are in a year? Not important to the story, but now that we're on the topic, how many weeks are in a year? How many weeks in a year? Oh, that's frequently asked. 52? 52.1. Did not know that.
It's exactly the same thing it is that he said in the actual video. Okay, so after that whole situation happened, we didn't really hear much about the lawsuit to do with Jason Derulo and Miss Gibson at all. This was until yesterday. I got a notification from this Emaza Gibson. As I said, I have been following this story for a little bit already, and she has come forward to not only bring new claims and new allegations against Jason Derulo, but also to state that I guess sometime within the next 24 hours, this case will be refiled in either a New York jurisdiction or a Miami jurisdiction per the request of the Los Angeles court. So this is what she had to say. I want you guys to see this. All of this will all make sense, I promise you. Right? This is what it is that she has to say. This is Emaza Gibson.
Records. If you've been keeping up with me throughout my whole musical career, influencing social media, you guys know the battle I've been fighting just to be an artist. If you're new, because you found out about this lawsuit, I'm just here to give
damn vape.
people that care and that just want to know what's going on. This situation definitely did a major detour in my life. When I signed to Atlantic Records and Jason Derulo, paperwork was signed in 2022, early 2022. Everything that you've been hearing, regarding the Shade Room, Daily Mail, other people covering my lawsuit, that's what happened. And it landed me here in this lawsuit that I filed later in 2022. Tomorrow,
Okay, first point that I want you guys to pin on a sticky pad right now is that this lawsuit has been going on now for a prolonged period of time, and loads of different media outlets, whether that's big or small, from Daily Mail to the Shade Room, have been covering this. This is not brand new information. Everybody has known about this situation who has been around the circle or understands anything to do with Jason Derulo.
I find out if the lawsuit is going to take place.
So obviously making the points. I think I know where she's getting at here. I'm pretty sure, not to skip ahead, but I'm pretty sure Rosanna and Jason Derulo are friends, question mark. I think I saw her hanging out with him recently, I guess. So I guess, obviously, Paige is making the point here of, friends and family know if this is going on. You know what I mean? Which is a very true point.
Here in LA or in New York. So I know a lot of people have been asking what's been going on, what's the status, and then you have the negative side like, oh, that's why this and this isn't going on. And when it comes to the justice system or any lawsuit, that stuff takes time. It's a whole process. So I filed this back in 2022. It's 2024, and I'm still fighting. It's very unfortunate, but
and what people don't consider is how much of their life these people are, in a sense, losing towards fighting this, because it's stressful. It's expensive, it's draining, and it's,
It's not surprising. I know from my knowledge, and I'm not here to claim nothing, just the way timing presented itself, I was the first person from the industry to speak up on what goes on in the industry publicly. And then you have
against Jason Derulo
with Diddy, and that stuff is unfolding from Diddy to Usher to Justin Bieber to, all these other celebrities. And I just been recovering. I'm in a transition in my life. I've been in the biggest transition, just trying to get back on my feet. I had to take therapy.
The unfortunate thing is that, things keep getting thrown at you. So it's hard. And it's like you against the system.
I want to make sure I'm doing better. I really do. So maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I just want to be done with all of this. And it's so crazy because people throw this in my face too online. And it's so bad. It's so bad because people don't know what I went through. I'm scared. I really feel like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared because people don't come out about this stuff.
It's crazy because this is a fully licensed therapist, legit. And I told her everything that was going on. And I mentioned the goat skin and fish scales ritual that Jason told me I had to do in order to move forward in my career and be successful. And she confirmed, she's like, I'm not saying yes, nodding my head or agreeing with you just to, make you feel comfortable and, make you feel like you're right. She's like, no, I have clients. I've done research, and these activities, rituals and things do exist. It's real. She said, you're fighting the devil.
Again, I'm just going to say completely disregard if you don't believe in all of that shenanigans, because I don't think that that's the most important part. It's what she's going to say.
And I've been in this battle of good versus evil. So that really blew my mind to hear her say that. I'm like, dang, I'm not crazy. And if you don't do them, you won't go further. Obviously, I didn't do them. And look where my deal went. But another peer in the industry was like, Emaza, they only let you go so far. And I'm just like, just my energy. I got so far. I was signed to Jay-Z, Rock Nation. I was on Forbes, Savage X Fenty fashion show, Forever 21, K-Swiss. Our song is on Sims, Dumbstruck, Sims 4, I believe. Soundtracks, VH1. I was doing a lot. And I didn't have to do anything up to that point. Like, I didn't have to sleep with nobody. I didn't have to do anything against my morals. I didn't have to do nothing to get to that point. It was just pure hard work. Even when I got signed, I'm like, okay, got it locked in. I got the blueprint. I could just keep going. And I went till I couldn't go no more. It really took a toll on me. It still takes a toll on me. I'm able to talk about it now and be more calm. I used to, now I get upset about it, but I'm trying to learn how to communicate without getting riled up for my health. And yeah, so when I filed the lawsuit, I talked to the Shade Room, talked to Daily Mail, talked to NBC. I appreciate these platforms for sharing my story because there's a lot of people going through stuff right now and they're not heard and they're asking for help. And I am a person that's actively alive, went through the industry, went through these things, and I'm still fighting. So a lot of people are like, oh, why are you still talking about it? You want clout? And it's like, no, I'm giving an update. This is my life. My life fully stopped in certain areas of, in my life. Because of this, my plan was to be successful, celebrate my deal and work hard. And that was taken from me. It was robbed. It was snatched, whatever you want to call it. And I'm still trying to do stuff independently. And I do feel like I'm being sabotaged still, but there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to figure it out. Always going to figure it out. But there's a couple things that stuck out to me as this situation progressed. They tried to have my case thrown out, saying it needed to be in New York. That's what we're trying to figure out now. I was told by my A&R, Tom Ben Horn at the time, Atlantic wants you to win, but we can't say the same for Jason. You got to be on his good side. So what's his good side? Doing goat skin and fish scales, drinking alcohol at the studio, which I didn't want to do, but I was pressured to do. Like, I need to sing. Ridiculous, but I got a DM throughout this process from a female that...
Okay, so this is the important part where she gets a DM. So now, on top of the allegations that she's obviously levied against Jason Derulo of sexual intimidation and sexual harassment, she then gets a DM from somebody supporting her for speaking her truth, who details their own experience with Jason Derulo.
I was involved with Jason Derulo, and I'll put the screenshots up here.
Okay, so it says, I'm so glad that you stepped forward. This is the person who messaged her about how awful this man is. He's done a lot of shady shit with me as well, but I never came forward. Kudos to you. Then she said, thank you so much. This has been tough. I'm sorry to hear that. What was your experience with him like? What did he do? Then it continues. She said, we met through his cousin, Movie. I'm sure you know him. When the pandemic first shut everything down, March 2020. I got invited to his crib to vibe and potentially collab on some music. I ended up sitting down in a studio session and everyone was getting hammered. Next thing you know, I'm too drunk to leave and Movie takes me back to the main house. This is back when he lived in the Tarzana house. I think that's how you say that. And points to a room upstairs and tells me to go lay down there. I woke up to Jason effing me and I was completely undressed. To be honest, I would have had sex with him had it have happened a different way. So I started, and it's going to continue.
He said that she was offered alcohol at the studio, passed out. Before she passed out, his cousin Movie, and it's crazy because she knows exactly who this is.
Okay, so it says, to be honest, I would have had sex with him had it have happened a different way. So I started convincing myself that I was fine with it, even though I knew it wasn't consensual. I don't know if anybody else has had the kind of life I've had, but does that feel fucking familiar? Because I know it feels familiar for me. I'm so sorry. I'm like trying to get through this without being angry, but I'm genuinely ticked off. Anyway, I never told anyone about it because I wanted to keep his network, so I buried it in my mind. Next thing you know, he's invited me to his house at least once a week to quarantine, work on music, TikTok ideas, lay by the pool, etc. Every time he expected sex. He started asking me if I like girls and if I'd have a threesome with him if he found a girl that was my type. Then I heard rumors that he's dating Jenna. So I asked him, Jenna is his current girlfriend who he has a kid with. So I asked him if this was true because we had been sleeping together for months at this point. He swore up and down that him and Jenna was a publicity stunt. A few months later, find out that Gemma is pregnant with his child and is moving in, etc. And my number got blocked. He unblocked me an entire year later.
Jesus Christ.
And that he wanted me to come and work at the studio. That day, he was recording Don't Cry For Me and needed a woman's voice recording on the cell phone for some background ad-lib and asked me if I could do it real quick in a voice memo. I felt pressured to because his producer was like, come on, and then you can get your foot in the door, but got nothing.
I know this man was been in my session before, took her to Jason's room, and then she woke up with him inside of her.
Yeah, it continues. He's just full of lies, false promises, and a misogynist womanizer. She replies, oh my God, I'm so sorry you went through that. You should report it to the police. Do you have someone you can go with? If you want to text, my number is blank. She said, I thought about it a long time ago, but I got way too scared, so ignored. You're brave, girl. She continues, thank you so much. Hearing your story upsets me because it means there's a lot more of us. I had to get my parents involved because I felt unsafe around him alone. She says, wow. Then she says, it happens too often with celebrities, unfortunately, and unless you have proof, it's difficult to be heard. And then they pretend that they don't know you, and society thinks that you're just out for a check, and it's so frustrating. She followed up by saying, I understand you completely. I'm here if you need anything, so don't hesitate to text me. So, at this present moment in time, not only do we have allegations of sexual harassment and sexual intimidation in the workplace, as well as breach of contract and all of the other random allegations as well, but the main ones that I want to focus on is sexual harassment, sexual intimidation. Then she has another alleged victim that comes forward to her to say, thank you for speaking, thank you for using your voice, and a similar situation happened to me, but I was R-worded by Jason Derulo. At that point, that's when I started getting ticked off. And you're probably wondering to yourself, why are you getting ticked off? Why is this whole situation peeing you off so much? Well, let me explain. So after this video, she basically states that the whole court case is going to move jurisdiction, and within the next 24 hours, she will find out whether it's going to be in Miami or whether it's going to be in New York, and where the filing is going to be next. That's what she's basically updating the audience to say.
Sorry, I don't mean to be so silent here, but this is so shocking to hear. And I want to hear everything, and I want to process everything, and huge props to Paige for making a video on this. Obviously, this has been a topic that very clearly has been in the media for a very long time, like the shade room and stuff. Like that's huge. I can't believe it wasn't on my radar. Never once do I think the algorithm would ever push me a Jason Derulo thing, which is probably the reason I haven't seen anything, which is why I'm even more grateful that Paige has made this video. So it is not on my radar. And maybe on the radar of people who didn't know. There has to be at least one person in the comments who was in the same boat as me. But there's something to be said. I mean, we obviously haven't got to that part, which is this is leading up to. I mean, the title is, what it is. But I mean, if you're having an in-person relationship with someone, when mainstream media are calling them out for what they're calling them out for. How quickly do you hear about a rumor from one of your close friends? And neither of you are in the industry. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
But she also dropped this bomb. This video has 6,100 views and was posted over 24 hours ago. Now, the reason that this situation peed me off so much is because Jason Derulo is extremely friendly with Rosanna Pansino. And I don't know what other way to put this, but if Mr. Beast bad, which we all agree, I feel like, can the choir fucking sing? Mr. Beast bad. Terrible. We don't fuck with him. We don't want to fuck with him. See you later. Goodbye, right? But when it comes to Jason Derulo, I would say that he is objectively worse. And you got to remember that whilst the case was dismissed, it was only dismissed based on jurisdiction, nothing
technicality.
So I question, what kind of person hangs out with another person who has a pending sexual harassment and sexual intimidation lawsuit? Am I losing my mind? Am I losing my mind? So let's take a look at Rosanna Pansino's friendship with Jason Derulo, shall we?
Oh, please tell me no.
1, 2, 3.
Who is in this? Are they just all filming TikToks?
Come on, you can do it.
Sophie, no.
Who are these people?
All right, up. How did I make it down to the last two?
That's it, hurt.
Okay, there we have it. Jason Derulo and Rosanna Pansino hanging out on, or when this was posted, on November the 2nd, 2024. Jason Derulo posted this and said it was an excellent game. She reposted it and said, I had an excellent time hanging out with y'all, right? Now, we could sit here and say, maybe she didn't know. Maybe she has no freaking idea that any of this took place. I would argue that if the comments section didn't reflect otherwise. We have somebody else who says, complains about workplace harassment from Mr. Beast, yet hangs out with Jason Derulo. You are really without morals, care or conscience. Laugh my ass off. Then somebody else said, posted this screenshot. It says, Jason Derulo says Diddy is innocent until proven guilty amid federal drama. We will get into Jason Derulo's connections to Diddy in a moment, right? Then we have, I'm confused. You're mad at Mr. Beast for being friends with Logan, but you're making videos with Jason Derulo, who is facing sex harassment charges and is a crypto scammer? Oh, if you didn't know, Jason Derulo has been dragged across the internet by the likes of CoffeeZilla, Scott Schaefer, and a bunch of those other We Detect Scams YouTubers because he continuously endorses crypto scams. Very much similar to what we hear about Mr. Beast currently, that whole situation, except Jason Derulo is extremely flagrant with it.
Now, he's not new to crypto. In fact, he's done other scams in the past, documented by Zach XBT. Here's a few of the screenshots of him promoting various projects. Little pump and dumps there. But now he decides, I've got to launch my own coin on pump.fun. Jason Derulo makes his own coin and then posts this immediately afterwards, apologizing.
Hey, what's up, people? Listen, the bullshit that happened today in the crypto space was absolutely crazy. I apologize to everybody affected.
I like how he's like, what happened in the crypto space? You mean what happened in your coin? It's like doing something bad and being like, hey, stuff that happened today on planet Earth. Crazy, man. Sorry about that.
He has also been called out by Jax Films and a bunch of other content creators in the commentary space because he does reaction videos very similar to Sniper Wolf, where he will sit there, not do anything, not say anything, not add anything to the actual video, and completely poach.
Kind of me here. Sorry. I'm just really shocked. And I'm also stressed because I know that there's an impending Adam McIntyre cameo, and I'm fucking terrified. Maybe I should have watched this beforehand.
Steal other content creators' material in order to make the bulk of their content. This is what Jason Derulo is presently doing on YouTube Shorts.
This is not a joke. All he does on his YouTube channel is like make a face at other people's TikToks while blasting his own music over it.
No.
He doesn't even show up. It's just someone else's TikTok with his music playing over it. I may have left a comment.
No.
But here's where it gets kooky. As I was editing this video, I noticed something strange. And at first I thought, no, there's no way. So I took some of his videos and played them side by side.
Are they the same video?
That yes, Jason Derulo 100% reuses his own footage.
Not the Daft Noodles AI of it all. Oh my god, he's just a little like, I don't even know the word for it, in the space. Same thing as Dennis doing the AI videos. Oh, I hate him.
Across multiple videos. How do you make reacting, which is easily the laziest subgenre of YouTube, even lazier? Some poor editor is just copying and pasting Jason Derulo's footage across multiple videos.
And he got dragged across the internet. So not only in the internet, in the realm of the internet, is he just not so much of a great guy, he also has these allegations levied against him. Okay, that's not enough. Okay, let's take another one. Here's another situation on Instagram. Here's a photo on Rosanna Pansino's Instagram from 5 weeks ago. It's truly amazing how fast time flies by when you're having fun. As a social butterfly, I love meeting new people and bringing amazing friends together, feeling grateful for all the talented and creative people in my life.
How are all these, like, who are these people? Why are they all there? Are they promoting something, or are they just like, why is she with all those people? Like, who are these people? Hold on. I'm going on the Instagram post so I can check the tags. Like, who the fuck are these people? Just you and I defying gravity. Gravity, and you can pull me down. You can still be with the wizard. What you've worked and waited for. You can have all you've ever. Where is it? But I don't want to. Here it is. It is truly amazing how fast time flies. Dude, this is. Who are these people? Directed by Stro. Oh. Wait, are they all just Jason Derulo people? When you got at Jason Derulo at your B-Day party. Okay, so don't know who that is. Where does it go? Huh? Hear ye. Sophie Dossie. And who is this? Hi, I'm the bendy girl. Okay. Care to Jason Derulo. Wait, I'm confused. Why are they all... Huh? If one of these other people is with Jason Derulo, I'm gonna fucking go crazy. Infamous Woo. You can still be with the wizard. What you've worked and waited for. Sorry. Okay. No sighting of Jason Derulo here. Don't think so. Okay, so that's one. Okay. Who else? You. Actor, dancer, creator. Jason Derulo. Wait, why are they all like why are they all in like the Jason Derulo universe? Princess Amalia. Oh, my stomach's grumbling. I need dinner. Okay, no sighting of Jason Derulo. But I'm really confused as to why the other ones are so heavily... Like, is it his team or something? That's really confusing. And maybe he is in these other people's ones. Huh.
Become friends. Not enough? Okay, let's bring some more up. Because there's plenty of instances of Rosanna Pansino chilling with Jason Derulo. Rosanna Pansino, you don't give a fuck about victims. You don't give a fuck about victims. You don't give a fuck about victims. You don't care about victims. You don't care about victims. You can't care about victims. Or do you only care about victims when it is about somebody that you don't like? There is no way in God's fucking name that you should be hanging out with somebody like this. Not just one time, but numerous times to promote his music. I don't know if there is like a financial transaction that's taking place here. Like if you promote me and we collab and we do stuff together, you'll post me and I'll post you. I don't know if there's a situation where finances are involved, but it's very fucking sus. It's very fucking sus. If Mr. Beast is supposed to be a terrible person...
Everything I agree with. Everything I agree with. There's no excuses for it. And that I might as well. I absolutely agree with Paige. There's no excuse for it. At all. at all. And huge power to, oh my God, I was going to say power to survivors. Alexa Nicholas just popped into my head. God, I haven't thought about her in so long. Get out of my head. Power to the people that are speaking up against him. And if trials are thrown out because of, you know, technicalities and they're being refiled, I hope their voices are heard. It's incredibly disappointing and alarming that Rosanna would collaborate with him before the trial got thrown out, if those dates are correct. And I'm holding that energy for every single person. I mean, if any of my friends were befriending someone who was in an impending trial, you know what I mean? And I was like choosing not to. No, it's. I'm scared as to how this correlates to me.
Friend of Ava Chris Tyson, right? Then what in the fuck is this? You're literally hanging out with somebody who has pending charges. One girl alleges she was R-worded by him. Now, forgive me, Mr. Beast might be a piece of shit and he's done some terrible fucking things. I don't believe he's fucking R-worded anyone. I don't think there's even a single allegation of Mr. Beast R-wording someone. But yet this is the company that she chooses to fucking keep. And we could sit there and say, maybe she didn't know. The comments under all of these posts are literally people saying, why are you fucking hanging out with this guy? She don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck until it begins to affect her. Because if you guys remember, I'm going to take you down a stroll of memory lane. Because Colleen Ballinger had a relationship.
God. So this is what, okay, if I'm like, this is what's frustrating. Because when Rosanna didn't say anything about, and obviously we talked about this in her video, which I think is the clip she's showing. Whenever Rosanna didn't speak about Colleen, you know, I spoke about my frustrations with like different people, even like Trisha, and I ultimately apologized to Trisha for that and ultimately apologized to Ro for it too, because I still think that I shouldn't expect anyone to speak up because of me or because of whatever. And then I take myself back and I realize that there's so many other people that like these people are defending on behalf of, you know, like you're Becky, Oliver, you know. This topic makes me extremely uncomfortable. And the reason it makes me extremely uncomfortable is because for some reason, my devoted hate following, like, hey guys, hope you're doing well. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm going to gather my words. Give me a second. I need to gather my words with this one because it really bothers me. Love this shit. Don't even know where it's from. Number 1, Sanho Crush. This topic makes me extremely uncomfortable because my devoted hate following, which most people have one, so it's fine. You know, people, not everyone has to love you. And if people have reasons to dislike me, then more power to you. More power to you, babe, right? A huge chunk of people on the internet hate me and discredit me because they say that I am the eternal victim. They say that at any opportunity, I will be looking to make myself a victim, that I create relationships with people to become a victim, and I've heard it. I've heard it so much. So much. Here he goes again with the victim stuff. And I'm like, so I'm going to hear what Paige says here, but I can automatically assume the narrative is going to be she didn't speak about Colleen, and then she did speak about Colleen, something like that. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. This has nothing to do with Paige. Paige is not the first person to talk about this, but that I'm reacting to this video in full transparency with you. The reason that this makes me uncomfortable is because there are people online that say that I basically get off on being perceived as a victim. And to those people, I'm like, I hope you fucking die. Like, genuinely, like, I think that is one of the worst things that someone could say about me. Because not only does it discredit how I feel about a lot of things. Oh, here he goes, being a victim again. I get it. But it's just incredible. Like, I've gone 3 times where I've talked about things and I've been healing from it, and people go, oh, here he is a victim again. And I'm like, you're the one saying that. And also, me and Rosanna had so much drama, right? So much drama. And then we made the initial Zoom interview, went well. And then I went over to her house. We filmed the collab for her channel. Everything went great. Had a great time. She was so lovely to me. Yada, 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 right? There were people that in that moment were commenting, being like, from my hate following, who were like, Rosanna's going to be the next Colleen. That's his next one that he wants to be a victim of. So this makes me really uncomfortable to talk about it, because without me even giving an opinion, which I'm going to try my best to give an opinion, but without me even giving an opinion, there will be people being like, here he goes again, throwing someone under the bus to be the victim. And genuinely, if you even think that right now, I fucking hate you. Like, I truly hope you know, to my deepest bone, I fucking loathe you. And I think you're a fucking terrible person if you were saying it about me or saying it about any fucking other person. You know why? Because I also see people saying it about other people that were involved in the Colleen topic. Because you know why? Because sometimes they'll make tweets referencing it, and sometimes they'll do whatever. If you genuinely think that, just know that I fucking hate you so much. And I know that won't affect you, but just know that there is at least one person out there, and it's me, who thinks you are a genuinely horrible fucking person. This really pisses me off, because it's like people attach me to this like victim, and I'm like, ironically, y'all are the only ones that ever said that. The ones that are the haters, right? And I'm like, okay, you've assigned me something, even whenever I haven't self-assigned myself something, and then you want to be pissed off that I was assigned something that, let me get this correct, you assigned me to. Fuck off. Fuck off. So pisses me off. Like, really is one of the biggest things you could do to piss me off. There's not a lot you could say about me or to me that would piss me off. That's one of them. Because fuck you. So anyways, let's hear it.
Relationship
Rosanna-
with Rosanna Pansino, right? They were really friendly. They did videos together. Their kids hung out with each other. They had a really friendly relationship. After the whole Mr. B.
Also, I do want to clarify as well that me and Rosanna had an in-person conversation off camera about Colleen. And she told me a lot about her dynamic with Colleen. And her sister joined in the conversation. And they told me a lot. And you know what? I truly believe everything they told me, and I understood where they were coming from in a lot of things. The same way I understood where Trisha was coming from when she didn't, speak out about Colleen. Eventually, it took me a little bit. Sorry for that, Trisha. If I'm being honest, that's where I'm at with it. I just get this fear, if I'm honest, that anytime I fucking have a relationship with someone and then I criticize them, or I call them out on rightfully what they should be, and Rosanna should be ashamed that she is interacting with Jason Derulo. She really should. She really should. I just get so nervous when there is the opening of someone being able to preemptively give me criticism. Here he goes again. And it stresses me out to my deepest core. Deepest core. So let's play it.
These allegations had come forward. Rosanna Pansino was facing a lot of backlash for still being, or what many presume to be still being friendly with Colleen Ballinger, because she was refusing to take down her Colleen Ballinger videos. People were atting her, were DMing her, were saying, hey, can you stop, posting Colleen Ballinger? It's all over your channel. Have you not seen what she did to Adam McIntyre? Have you not seen what she did to Emily? Have you not seen what she did to her audience? She's a terrible person. She's a groomer, and she did nothing about it. Only when it began to question her integrity when it came to the Mr. Beast case did Rosanna Pansino then formally come forward to distance herself from Colleen Ballinger. So let's take a trip down memory lane with Spill Sesh.
Pansino has been in a lot of conversations over the last few weeks, which is not something that she's used to, as she's been pretty unproblematic, avoiding any sort of drama up until now. But she recently had called out Mr. Beast for his edit of her in his $1 million hide-and-seek challenge. She had gone on Trisha Paytas' podcast to talk about it and also put out a statement that she later deleted. She also ended up apologizing to Mr. Beast and then later retracting the statement, saying that she realized certain issues would never be handled privately, only covered up or dismissed. As time has passed from the Mr. Beast situation, she's now come out to address an entirely different situation. She's addressing questions that she's received about what kind of terms she's on with Colleen Ballinger, and she wants to let everybody know that she's no longer in communication with her. It definitely did feel a little random that she was suddenly tweeting this out, but we'll get into why I think she was bringing this up now. As I'm sure we all know by now, Colleen was called out for a number of things over the summer. Each day, new information seemed to be brought to light, exposing conversations that she had with minor fans behind the scenes.
Magdalena just says she wants to have her cake and eat it at the same time. Very much that. Very much that. Like, before I was like, maybe she just is wrong and doesn't know how to retract it in a good way. I genuinely think now, when it comes to the Dogpat 404 and Rosanna Pansino situation, that this was maliciously done, because there is absolutely no way that you could put such stringent stipulations on other people to behave in a particular manner when this is the company that you're keeping. And I'm sorry, we could say that she didn't know. That bullshit. The comments say otherwise. There are literally other people calling Rosanna Pansino out. I called Rosanna Pansino out at the time on Twitter. I called her out at the time, but then I didn't realize that we had gone not just from the realm of like sexual harassment and sexual intimidation. We now have allegations of R word. Now, granted, she didn't know that at the time, because this has only been like 24 hours. I very much doubt that Rosanna Pansino is aware of the new allegations that are coming forward. But by God, the allegations that were here already are already fucking bad enough. There is no way that I am associating or being friends with somebody knowing that they've got that kind of history. And I'm refusing to believe that she didn't know, because her comments are reflecting otherwise. That woman is malicious. Malicious.
But in terms of Rosanna and how she ties into all of this, is that she recently decided to put a statement out about Colleen and what had been said about Colleen and the terms that she's on with her. She recently tweeted out, addressing your questions about Colleen. And it's these two statements in which she says, the whole situation makes me feel sad and breaks my heart. I'm still processing my feelings. I do believe that the behavior was inappropriate, mean-spirited, and I no longer communicate with her. I found out when everyone else did, perhaps even later. When the news broke, I was traveling out of state to finally pick up all the things my dad left for me after he passed away, and to help my mom go through more of his belongings. It was emotionally exhausting. I was not online much at all because I was focusing on my own healing with my family. I have not said anything publicly for a few reasons. One, I do not have any new information or insight to add. I never personally witnessed.
That just reminded me as well. That was a conversation she had with me in person. She was saying about how she was going through, you know, her dad's passing and moving a lot of stuff. And I completely got it. The same way I eventually got with Trisha not speaking up immediately. Like, I've apologized to both of these women for, in a way, pressuring them to speak about something. I would do things a lot differently now, but last summer was one of the honestly, the craziest time of my entire life. And it was, I mean, I'm surprised I didn't, like, you may think I'm crazy, but I'm surprised I didn't go crazier. Like,
that kind of behavior, wasn't aware of it, nor did I participate. My memories of our time together were with family and was very wholesome. My nephew adored her son and they loved playing together. Obviously, I don't support or condone the behavior that was made public. Two, I feel that the most important thing in this situation...
Now, Rosanna did also tell me that Colleen had messaged her saying it was all lies and stuff. I don't know how it came about, but Rosanna said that she had a conversation with Colleen where Colleen was basically like calling me a liar again over text, which, you know, was lovely to hear. Lovely to hear. It's now two people in the space were told that.
Is that the affected people's voices are heard, which I believe they now are. 3, I like to hear both sides when possible. While it's easy to jump onto the side of public opinion, I was hoping for some sort of apology or explanation at some point, which hasn't happened. I hope people come to understand that...
Struggling to understand why Colleen Ballinger would have to approach Rosanna Pansino to apologize. If Rosanna Pansino's experiences with Colleen Ballinger was wholesome, family-friendly, she never experienced anything, she never saw anything or thought that anything was untoward, why on earth would Colleen Ballinger reach out to Rosanna Pansino to say anything at all? That, for me, was kind of weird. But what makes this whole situation even worse for me is the fact that she, in my humble opinion, has, befriended Adam McIntyre as kind of like a cloak against her, so that like, oh, don't worry, everything's cool. I'm friends with one of the victims. We're friends. We're besties now. We hang out. We did a podcast. We open champagne bottles together or whatever. Yeah, no, it's cool. Everything's cool. I genuinely believe that Adam McIntyre has been used. And I genuinely believe that Rosanna Pansino actually gives zero fucks about any kind of victim. I think she only favors herself and whatever benefits her.
When you first made your video, I felt like I could relate to so much of what you were saying and how you were feeling, because I've had experiences in entertainment where not the exact same thing happened to me, but I've been put in situations that just didn't sit right. I felt for you, and I felt connected to you that way, because I felt like he doesn't even know it, but we have something in common.
Yeah, you made sure to let me know.
I was like, I was pretty private about kind of losing a friendship because I didn't really have the full picture. And I also had someone who wasn't being honest with you. I think it's like hard when you've been friends with someone for so long and you think that they're one way and you learn that there's another side to them that you didn't know. Just that took a really long time for me to process, and I just did not know how to work through that. And I had never really had that happen.
Because I find it very interesting also that after the launch of all of this, she's now launching this podcast as well. So we've now got the Ridiculous podcast, which, what can I say, right? I was speaking to one of my researchers. I said, listen, that podcast intro, the music, ridiculous, that's kind of a bop. That shit gets me moving. Like, I don't like her, but bitch, I'm moving. The shoulders are shimmying. I'm moving. And my researcher was just like, Paige, I hate it. It's the worst fucking song. I was like, God damn it. But I really thoroughly enjoy that intro. Sorry, I have to be unbiased here and just be like, yeah, that's a bop. That's a bop. But regardless of that tiny amount of praise, because fuck her, the tiny amount of praise that I'm giving her in this situation, she's now launched this podcast. This, for me, has been a way to propel herself away from the kid-friendly content that she has been known for. Her first episode was her smoking on her father. Literally rolled her dad into a doobie and smoked him on the podcast. Now, the way you choose to process your grief is completely up to you. But if I would be lying if I didn't say that I was like, you smoked on your dad? Hey, if that's how he wants to be commemorated, if you like it, I love it. It's fucking weird. I'm just saying that. It's fucking weird. That's weird. When all of this took place, she propelled herself. She's now literally distancing herself from that kid-friendly, the kid-friendly content it was that she was producing. She's now exposing her feet and doing wiki feet, doing things specifically for wiki feet. And if you don't know what wiki feet is, it's a foot fetish website where people literally screen capture pictures of celebrities and influencers' feet and rate them 1 to 10. It's literally the website. But because she wants to change up, she does it. She's having her JoJo Siwa era. That's what's happening right now. She's having a JoJo Siwa era, and she now wants to be, I'm not a girl, I'm not yet a woman. I can't be tamed, I can't be tamed. She's having her I can't be tamed moment. She's saying, I'm a big girl now, I've got my big girl panties, I am not the kid-friendly, nerdy nummies, fuck that. I'm Rosanna Pansino, bitch. That's what it's giving to me. And I just think, genuinely, that this whole situation has made me incredibly angry, because at the center of this is genuine, real victims. I'm sat down and I'm watching a girl who has recorded her therapy session, and she's sitting there crying about the fear and that she's scared and that, these things are happening in the industry. It's ruined her relationship with music. She's crying, she's sobbing. She's literally there being a beacon for other victims and sharing their story upon their request. That is what caring about victims are. When you yourself are a victim and you still muster up that fucking strength to look after other victims, that's what giving a crap means. The moment you hear about something to do with Colleen Ballinger, somebody that you considered a friend, and the internet was saying, girl, get rid of these goddamn videos of Colleen Ballinger, it should have been the immediate moment that you took that shit down, but you didn't. You didn't listen to the audience. The same way that you're not listening to the audience presently who are telling you Jason Derulo has sexual harassment and sexual intimidation lawsuits that is pending against him, as well as now the new information, another allegation towards Jason Derulo where somebody alleges that they were R-worded by him. Mr. Beast, bad. Jason Derulo, ridiculously worse. Ridiculously worse. Okay? Ridiculously worse. This, to me, is the equivalent of, hanging out with fucking P. Diddy. And I'm so fucking for real. And I don't want anyone to turn around and say, Paige, you're exaggerating. Why are you exaggerating? I'm so fucking for real. Because if you didn't know, Jason Derulo was
Okay, let me pause and take a moment. Listen. I very clearly very awkward in watching that. I guess I would be a hypocrite if I said anything other than what I said to Rosanna, which is what happened, and I, move on and we move on. Okay? And again, I want to leave it at that because I'm so over, like, people that don't like me attaching me to what I said earlier and just, like, trying to paint me in this kind of light. So I'm just trying to tread very lightly when it comes to that, if I'm being completely honest. It's not worth the hassle that I get at all. But still, like, fuck you to those people. Hope you're doing horrible. Everything Paige is saying here is very valid. You know, the wind is crazy. The backlash is calling her out for this. Like, why is she making content with this person? Posting things before it even got dismissed. And again, it's getting resubmitted. You know, it was dismissed on technicalities. And then speaking out for other people is incredibly hypocritical. Damn. I want to say I hope she addresses this, but I mean, everyone's been tweeting her. So I can't even say that.
Was friends with P. Diddy. That's his boy. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Let me bring that up. Yeah, that was his boy, girl. That was his boy. So let's take a look at Jason Derulo supporting his boy. Can we have a look? This is TMZ 7 months ago on April 10th, 2024. This is what Jason Derulo had to say about his boy.
I know that you worked with Diddy, you know, and he's helped your career a lot. Do you feel like people should be giving him some grace, or at least giving him the grace of, you know, saying, you know, he is innocent until proven guilty?
I believe in that. I believe in innocent until proven guilty. Sure.
Do you feel like they're kind of like going too hard on him, maybe? I appreciate you. Thank you, Jason. Have a great day.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe he's innocent until proven guilty. Okay, yeah. So in the midst of everything, when we're seeing everything that's going on, the lawsuit from Cassie Ventura has gone live against P. Diddy just before P. Diddy decided to turn around and tell the world that he apologizes for the horrible things it is that he did to Cassie. This was obviously around the time that he also turned around and said that Cassie was a flagrant fucking liar, to which we now know that she isn't after we saw the video footage of Cassie was literally being dragged by her fucking hair in the middle of a hallway and then had a vase thrown at her as she laid there on the floor in a fetal position, quivering over a man with a huge ego and nothing to back it up. Yeah, I believe innocent until proven guilty. I would say I would believe in innocent until proven guilty. But at what point do we just say, nah, bro, I've seen enough? At what point do we just say, nah, bro, nah, that's wild, no. You know what I mean? Here we are, Jason Derulo's relationship with Diddy. He actually met Diddy when he was 16 years old. So this is Jason Derulo speaking in a podcast about his relationship with Diddy and how he got in touch with Diddy.
Like, you know, I mean, because you start to get some attention. I mean, Diddy and Lil Wayne and others. I mean, how did those songs even get in front of those artists?
It was tricky, but Miami is really small. And I was working with all of these different up-and-coming producers, and somebody was bound to meet somebody. Yeah. We had P. Diddy down in Miami. We had Cash Money down in Miami. We had Timbaland and his crew down in Miami. So there was quite a bit of, like, music energy in Miami at that time, but it seemed, like, closed off. Like, you couldn't, like, get in in any way. And it wasn't until Diddy brought Making the Band to Miami, which was a TV show back in the day. I don't know if you remember that TV show. But he brought in, like, a ton of different producers and a ton of different writers from all over and flew everybody down, and everybody would record in this one studio. And I got invited to that studio by one of the producer friends that I knew, and I thought it was really interesting. But as a 16, 17-year-old kid, I'm like, holy shit, like, what the fuck did I just walk into? And he sits me down. He's like, listen, I'm gonna give you a chance. You just have to write a song to this beat right here. So I take the boombox and he's like, go sit over there. He comes back like 10 minutes later and he's like, what you got? And I'll sing him the hook and he's like, all right, come in the studio and meet Cassie. Wow. And I'm like, holy shit, I get to meet Cassie? This is lit.
So during that time, he then gets to meet Cassie. Now, I'll leave you to figure out what in the fuck you think took place, but apparently, according to Jason Derulo, he sees P. Diddy as one of his mentors, as one of the people who really helped him get a come up in the music industry, because prior to then he was just a songwriter and he was like handing out his work to loads of different producers to help him out and all of this kind of stuff. And it was really Diddy who put him on at a young age and helped inspire and push his career online and in music. So that's kind of wild to me. It's wild to me. And the reason that's wild to me is because something tremendously disgusting in my humble opinion, took place with Rosanna Pansino and Dog Pack. They made a video, this is a month ago, with 1.5 million views. It's Mr. Beast is a Criminal, in which they speak about philanthropy for kindness. So let's take a listen to the things it is that Rosanna Pansino and Dog Pack 404 allude to in this particular video.
Kindness for clicks, Mr. Beast and the problem with philanthropy is spectacle. There's like a whole piece on the exploitative content and poverty porn. This is by Nicole Slavsky.
Yeah, and I'd say there's a lot of celebrities that I know that donate to existing charities, Habitat for Humanity, Make-A-Wish. There's not many that I know that own their own charities. I want to remind everyone watching that a lot of powerful people hide behind the cloak of charity. There's a very interesting article about this. People like Weinstein did this, Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Cosby, all linked down below to that article.
So, whilst talking about Mr. Beast's philanthropy and the things it is that they believe was faked, or the things it is that they believe was not based on truth or facts, like, you know, the eye surgery video and all of that kind of stuff, Rosanna Pansino then proceeds to say, of course, well, this is how I received this information, may I add. Of course, Mr. Beast is a rich millionaire dude. Of course he's into philanthropy. A lot of these celebrities hide behind philanthropy. Harvey Weinstein did. Jeffrey Epstein did. Bill Cosby did.
Article about the cloak of charity. Basically, to the public, you appear like you're doing a lot of goodwill and good things, and then behind closed doors is a very different story.
The filing also goes into Combs' philanthropic works, including his work with the Boys and Girls Club of America, his donations to open a charter school in New York, and his work fundraising to get PPE for frontline workers during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Here's a paper published.
Now, I understand that Mr. Beast is a complete and utter piece of shit. I get that, right? And I get that there are some people who feel that no matter what it is that he does, no matter what it is that he tries to clean up, no matter who it is that he tries to appoint and hire, it doesn't matter. The damage has been done. He has sullied his image, and we don't mess with Mr. Beast anymore. I vibe with that. Completely your prerogative. In fact, I would say that was my prerogative too, because I don't like Mr. Beast. I already said this a billion times. I don't like him, right? But to sit there and equate him to people who have R-worded victims is fucking crazy. I thought it was crazy at the time. But then you bring up the philanthropy of P. Diddy. That's Jason's friend. That's your boy's friend. That's your boy's friend. You're sitting there saying, oh, it all relates. P. Diddy and all of those people have closer connections to Jason Derulo than they have ever had. To Mr. Beast. Not a single soul has ever said that Mr. Beast has attempted to sexually assault them, sexually harass them, sexually intimidate them.
This is all very true.
Where did them? What on earth do you mean, Rosanna Pansino? This is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And then now, after finding out that this young girl who has gone through this whole situation, 2 years long situation with Jason Derulo on pending charges that we are now finding out the information about, is sitting there crying herself to sleep every fucking day. And people like Rosanna Pansino, despite seeing how many people are saying, girl, this is not the move, what are you talking about, doesn't do anything about it. Only when it affects her will she say anything. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If another commentary channel takes this conversation that I'm having now and does their own interpretation of a similar video showing what Jason Derulo does, somebody with a far bigger reach, with a far bigger audience, with far bigger networks on social media, should this go forward and really make some noise, only then will Rosanna Pansino do anything. And I think that that is fucking disgusting. As somebody who literally hails themselves as the savior of victims, who retracted their apology to Mr. Beast because there were so many other victims that she felt that she needed support. So what victims matter? All of them? Are all of the victims important? Or is it just the victims of people that you don't like that are important? This girl deserves just as much of a voice as the victims of Colleen Ballinger. This girl deserves much of the same support as the victims of Mr. Beast, if not fucking more. But you don't care. You don't care. And I bet that Jason Derulo's sweet, sweet check for that Margarita music video was so fucking good. Rosanna Pansino, you should be ashamed of yourself, quite frankly. When I tell you earlier today, I was like so angered by it. I was literally fucking shaking. Because how can you sit there and say that you are for the victims and you don't care? You don't care. The idea that there could even be possibly a victim would be enough to make me move, enough to make me get off my ass and tweet, or send a post, or take stuff down, or leave a statement, enough for me to do something. But just like when Rosanna Pansino was found literally wrong in some of the assertions it is that she made in her video, radio silence. But it's cool because she got the Ridiculous podcast and she's like, you know, cool mom now who smokes weed. I'm so incredibly over it, and I'm so incredibly done with this narrative that nobody can ever be critical of somebody because of how they present. It is this squeaky clean image of Rosanna Pansino that so many of her audience, as well as the internet at large, have got in their brains that has literally allowed us to get to this place where entire investigations are being completely sullied and victims' voices aren't being heard, which is the literal antithesis of the reason of why she stated she came forward, of why she continued to campaign. It was because victims needed to be heard. So, Rosanna Pansino, quite frankly, with peace and love. Go fuck yourself.
That silencing legitimate criticism, especially when it comes to the physical and mental safety of others, is not okay.
And with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, whatever the hell it is you're doing. Thank you guys.
All right. Going back to the start of this video, when Paige was like, whatever she said about people like having a perception of her when she's, you know, speaking about a topic, to me, Paige just comes across incredibly passionate. Incredibly passionate. And I believe it's rare on the platform. And I really respect her for that. I really do. I agree with everything. I agree with everything. You know, prior to the victims of Jason Derulo, and no victim is more important than another one. No story is more important than another one. It doesn't work like that. And it shouldn't work like that. I understand why everyone wanted me to cover this, and I hope I haven't disappointed anyone or let anyone down. Me feeling awkward and uncomfortable about coming up in this is not going to stop me from posting a video that I think is a topic that is important to talk about, and it would be with anyone. You know, just don't align with people like this. Specifically, when people are like calling you out for it, like, you know it. It's exhausting and it's disappointing, if I'm being honest. I didn't know about this, if I'm being completely honest, until now. But now I know said information, and it's important to kind of move on knowing the information and applying it. Shout out to Paige. Also, me and Paige, like, don't talk. Like, maybe we've sent, you know, like 1 or 2 texts throughout the year. You know, very, very, very casual, right? I really, really, really appreciate her giving me a heads up that she was talking about me in this video. You know, my mom watched it on my behalf and told me that, you know, everything's good, Adam, everything's good, Adam, because I get so stressed out. But I really just appreciate her doing that, because I was getting a lot of tweets about it. I was getting a lot of messages about it, and my heart would sink. But I really appreciate her giving me a heads up, and I think it just shows a lot of, like, care towards these topics and, like, compassion. Shout out to Paige. I think that's everything I want to say in it, but I definitely wanted to cover this, and thank you to everyone that tagged me in it, and thank you to Paige for talking about this. I will see you on my next one. I hope you're all doing very well. Look after yourselves, and goodbye.